So my Digitalis has finished flowering, as you can see, and all the way up here are the green seed pods. That means it's not ready yet to be collected, but the seeds that's ready is from all the way from the bottom where they turn brown, and as you can see down here, they're already starting to open up, starting to self-seed everywhere in the garden. They can really fly a far away, but I'll just show you how they look. It's a little bit windy here today, but here you have already maybe 150 new Digitalis seeds. So what I do, I collect them here in my coffee filter with a name tag on. This was a pink one. And then I'll keep them in here, and some of them I'll winter sow in trays. But you could also let nature do its thing, because there's different ways of getting more of these Digitalis. You could just take the seed pod here, either just drizzle around the mother plant or other areas in your garden, or just let the seed pod be, and it will be, some years we have Digitalis all the way in the other end of the flower bed. Maybe some birds will peck in at it and fly around in other areas as well. But the thing with the Digitalis here is, first of all, if you don't use gloves, because it is poisonous, then remember to wash your hands after you have collected seeds, or you can have gloves on as well. But this one is a biennial, so and what does that mean? That means that the first year it creates the green foliage, and then the second year it will have the tall 2-meter flower, and then it will die back. So in that way, if you always put seeds out or collect seeds and make it here, then it's a great time to collect them, and you will always have, every following year you will have a bunch of new Digitalis, because they are really tall and gives a lot to your garden. And this one has actually been self-sowed from somewhere in the back, but because it's so tall and skinny, we let it be, and you can really easily see the foliage. Okay, this is a Digitalis. So I'll take some more here, because there's a lot. I'll just keep them in my coffee filter. I collect them also when it's dry. You can see the seeds, they don't cling together. That means it's not wet, because otherwise they have a tendency to rot. So do collect them when it's dry weather. I have here for hundreds of new Digitalis, and I'll collect them here and use all methods. Some will just go around in the garden now, and then I'll keep the rest until winter.
So for this, we're using regular potting soil because it's the cheapest. We did add water beforehand. That'll help our seeds not get lost and tossed around in the tray.
Oh, and if you want to see a great video on how to winter sow, click the link here.
Good job, Lars.
So I'm sowing my Digitalis, and these seeds are super small. I'm gonna take them out here so you can see them. You can sow they are tiny, tiny, tiny seeds. And these ones need light to germinate. So I'm just gonna drizzle them here on top. Actually, the rest of the coffee filters will also just be drizzled in here. There we go. And notice these Digitalis seeds, they are biennial, so they will flower the second year they have grown. The first year they create the leaves, and then the second year they'll come with the flowers. So I'll use my spray here and spray some water, and then I'll keep it a little bit wet until they start to sprout in the spring. And I'll put a tag on here, and then I'll place them in the greenhouse. Once it gets warmer, then they'll start to grow, and I can place them out in the garden once they are bigger.
Now it's time to place these in the glass house. They're going to need sunlight, and they're going to need to be watered once every 2 weeks with a little sprayer. Just keep an eye on them. Once these seedlings start to sprout, they'll be ready to plant out directly in the garden come springtime.
So it has been 3 months, and the small Digitalis seeds sprouted in the tray. And now when they have the second set of leaves, I have repotted it in a slightly bigger pot, and we'll leave it here until they have more foliage and the roots start to show in the bottom. And then they will be planted out in the garden. If you don't have the time nor the space to repot, you could also plant it directly out from the tray.